Usually Trepacer does his Saturday night reviews at about this time. Usually he does some silly skit before he does his reviews. But I have breaking Star Wars news. Okay, so I took over his channel temporarily. Okay, this is straight from superherohype.com. Okay, apparently J.J. Abrams has decided to supposedly cast an actor, a 25-year-old actor named Jesse Plemons, who starred in AMC's The Breaking Bad, but he's, I think, more known from NBC's Friday Night Lights. Okay, he's 25 years old, Texan native. He's supposed to be playing a lead role, auditioning for. Actually, he already auditioned for a role, and supposedly it was well received. Okay, and his so-called resemblance to a young Mark Hamill makes him, possibly playing the role of my grandson. And frankly, this is what he looks like. I see no resemblance to Mark Hamill or Luke Skywalker. Looks nothing like me either. So why they pick him, I have no idea. This is the whitest man in America. I have no idea why they picked him. At least get a tan or something. Jesus. Again, J.J. Abrams, again, you ignore me at your peril. Okay? I should be in this movie. Even if it's a brief flashback, I should be in this movie. It's Star Wars. What's Star Wars without Vader? Nothing. Okay? So put me in this movie. Do not let me come get you, because I will. Okay. I'll let Trepacer have his channel back. Okay. But put on my music and play me out. Hi, this is Trepacer. Sorry about that Vader interruption. I'm sorry, he had some kind of breaking news. He just had to get on and discuss. So I'm glad that's out of the way. Now for my two reviews. I saw two movies today. Dallas Buyers Club, starring Matthew McConaughey, Jared Leto, and Mrs. Ben Affleck. What's her name? I forgot her name. Jennifer Garner. That's right. And also I saw the Lone Survivor, starring Mark Wahlberg and who else? What's his name? Yeah, Mark Wahlberg, Taylor Kitsch, Emil Hirsch, and what's the guy's name? Ben Foster. Okay, this is written and directed by Peter Berg and based on a book. Okay, and so I'm going to review Dallas Buyers Club first. I'll go with that one. Okay, this movie takes place in the year 1985. Electrician and part-time hustler Ron Woodruff, played by Matthew McConaughey. Like I say, he's a rodeo driver. He's an electrician as well, and he also hustles on the side. And of course, he's into taking drugs and basically having sex, unprotected sex. And you see, he gets sick on the job because of a work-related accident he has on the job. He gets sent to the hospital, and they take his blood, and they discover that he has, he's HIV. Okay, HIV positive. Of course, he doesn't. At the time, it was around the same time that Rock Hudson had came out and was in Paris, I believe, getting treated for the AIDS virus. And of course, Ron's character is he's a cowboy and a Texan, so he only thinks that homosexuals, or as he calls it, he thinks only homosexuals get AIDS. He's denying. He's in real deep denial about that he has it. He doesn't even believe that he has it until he starts getting sicker and sicker, and then he starts reading up about it. And of course, he finds out that the only drug at the time is a drug called AZT, but it's only being done in clinical trials in the U.S. and they're not really giving it out. It's controlling. The FDA is not approving any other drug to treat this disease. So what he does is he finds out from first he actually pays a guy off to the side to sneak the drug to him, and then he actually, after that supply gets cut off, he actually goes to Mexico where he finds a doctor one of these doctors that's kind of been disgraced that actually hooks him up with a drug connection, and then he starts coming back, and hence the title Dallas Buyers Club. He starts actually actively selling it. He starts hustling it, much like he would do drugs and everything else. He starts, selling it, but actually, what he does is he sells it, as part of a club. He says the drug is free, but to be a membership in the club to get the drug is about $400 a month. So basically, he starts this club to and where he takes the drug, and he gives it out to people that are sick that can't get it AZT the normal way, and he starts really like a club. So of course he's still, his character is not a very likable character to begin with, okay, and even after he gets diagnosed, with the HIV, and his friends start to basically start to shun him and stuff, and he even goes to work one day, and you see all the guys are basically blocking his entrance to the job, and he just leaves. He still doesn't become a nice person, okay. And Matthew McConaughey does a great job as this guy Ron Woodruff. He's, like I said, he lost a lot of weight for this part, and he looks like, as the movie begins, he's already sick, so he looks he looks really sickly, and Matthew McConaughey lost a lot of weight for this part, but more than just the weight loss, his acting is incredible in this movie. It's heartbreaking. Like I said, he plays a real son of a bitch, and even, like I said, after he gets diagnosed, it doesn't really make him any kinder or anything. He's still a son of a bitch. But along the way, he meets this nurse, not a nurse, a doctor, played by what's her name? I keep getting her, Jennifer Garner, who tries to help him and stuff. But he's, like I said, he's focused on getting the drugs, and not and helping himself, and then of course selling the drugs to other people that they can't get it the conventional way, and he's focused on doing that. And also, plus, he meets I guess you call it Jared Leto's character, who plays Rayon, like I guess you call it transvestite, I guess. Well, I'm not sure about that, but he basically a man who dresses like a woman, okay. And they're funny. I like the chemistry between them two, Rayon and Ron Woodruff, Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto, because they actually become partners in the business, and they start actually selling. They move in together, and they start selling the drug, to their club, membership to their club, to different people all over the place. And Matthew McConaughey's character Ron Woodruff, he goes through all these disguises and stuff to go overseas to get the drug where he can get it, and to try to sneak it back into the country and sell it to people that need it. And of course, the FDA is on his behind, watching him and stopping him, and trying to stop him at every turn, because the drugs are not legal here. But they also told him in the beginning of the movie that he was going to die in 30 days. But actually, he actually lives a lot longer than that. And it's a really good movie. Just like I said, excellent performances by Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Matthew McConaughey gets nominated for an Academy Award, because he was that good in this movie. And Jared Leto was really good as well in this movie, and he breaks your heart in certain spots. And this movie is just a really, really powerful film, basically about how it was back then in the 80s, when AIDS first became really prevalent, and all the things that people had to go through to even get treated. And it's just a really powerful film, and I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. Okay, just really good. Matthew McConaughey is probably the best performance I've seen him get. I guess it is the best performance I've seen him give. He's really that good. Okay, and like I said, Jared Leto, I think, is equally as good too, and he breaks your heart too with his portrayal too. So definitely give this movie an 8 out of 10. Definitely recommend it. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Matthew McConaughey gets nominated for Academy Award for his performance. He was just breathtaking, and he played his part very well, even beyond the losing the weight part. Emotionally, and there's a lot of parts in there where it breaks your heart when he breaks down and gets sick, and it's a powerful film. Definitely see it. Now, the next movie I'm going to talk about is The Lone Survivor. Now, this movie was based on a book about a real life story based on a failed mission in June 28th of 2005 of mission Operation Red Wings. They were supposed to, 4 members of SEAL team was supposed to kill a Taliban leader. Okay, but of course, if you see in the trailer for this movie, you see they got caught. Actually, not got caught. They basically ran into a little problem. Like these sheep herders basically walked into the middle of their ops, and basically they had a couple of options to do. Like you see in the if you see in the trailer, to either kill them, let them go, and either take them with them. I think that was the third option, take them with them. And see the op was compromised. So they decided to cut them loose and say that the op is compromised and head their way, head back to base and wait for extraction. But a lot of things went wrong. And this, and as the title would suggest, Lone Survivor, this is one of the most powerful war films I've seen. And basically, like I said, it's them, these four guys basically against this whole Taliban group, basically, and they're basically fighting for their lives. And it's really, really, I love the way this movie is shot, and the battle scenes are super, super intense. And especially kudos to Mark Wahlberg, Taylor Kitsch, Emil Hirsch, and Ben Foster. They play the four guys, and I mean the stuff they have to go through is just really powerful and really emotional. And to watch that and everything they had to go through is just, it's heartbreaking to watch. And it's really some powerful war scenes that them basically fighting to survive with chaos going all around them, and they can't communicate with the base via the radio because it's hard to get communications with them, and basically fighting for their lives, basically with people shooting at them all around, and they're basically trying to survive. And some brutal scenes to watch, and just really super intense, and one of the more powerful war scenes that I've ever seen in a movie. And like I said, really good performance. I especially love Ben Foster in this, and Mark Wahlberg, and like I said, Taylor Kitsch was good, and Emil Hirsch. Those four guys had nice chemistry, and those I think it went on for like 30-35 minutes of just them battling for survival, and super intense. Like I said, at the beginning of the movie, they show the actual real people that train to be Navy SEALs and how tough their training is, and it makes you really appreciate what these guys go through for the country. To be considered among the elite and to qualify to be Navy SEALs, and they have a bond, and it's really you really feel that when you watch this movie. And like I said, basically the title kind of gives it away, Lone Survivor. It's just, like I said, this is based on a book, and it's really powerful film to see, and it's really good. And okay, I would give this movie, Lone Survivor, a 7.5. I think it's really good, and just super. The battle scenes, like I said, especially the scenes on the mountain where they basically fight. Those four guys are fighting for their lives. It's incredible, and just it's really super intense, and really good performances by the cast. And Peter Berg, I like the way he directed the scenes. It's really good. And like I said, the end part will really, they show clips at the end of the movie of the real life people and stuff, and it just really again makes you appreciate the sacrifice that men and women of the armed forces do for this country. And my hat's off to them as a former service member. What they go through is sacrifice, volunteering for your country, to me, is the highest honor imaginable. And again, this movie, super intense. I would give it like a 7.5. Okay, for a Lone Survivor, really good. Okay, and again, Dallas Buyers Club. I think Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto will probably get nominated for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor, respectively. And this movie was really powerful and really good. Okay, and I would give that movie, Dallas Buyers Club, an 8 out of 10. Really, and totally worth watching. Definitely, again, he's going to get nominated, no problem. Matthew McConaughey, he was really, he gave it his all. Physically and emotionally, he was really good. And Jared Leto, too. I think I read somewhere that it was his first part within 4 years. That he hadn't acted in 4 years, but he was really good. Okay, and there's a particular scene that'll break your heart where he basically goes back to his family, and I don't want to say anymore. But anyway, that's my reviews of those two movies. Let me know if you've seen them, what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. This is Trepacer saying so long and take care.